experiments in the lab showing electromagnetism, you know. These also, you have to remember that Einstein was standing on the shoulders of giants. By the time Einstein is coming, he already had Faraday and Maxwell and Newton and everybody before him. So and Newton, of course, had Galileo before him, and Copernicus, and you know, all Aristotle, all that stuff. So everybody is standing on the shoulders of giants. But that's another thing to note as well, that in physics, in experiments, in science, it's very important to stand on the shoulders of giants and really see what has been accomplished so far and get the deeper insight from it. Like really study it so well, where you can then advance the topic, where you become such an expert on the topic and learning it, that then you can advance it, and maybe you can even find flaws in it and you can correct it. For example, Newton worked on the classical theory for gravitation, and then Einstein worked on the relativity or relativistic theory of gravitation, and the general theory of relativity is the more correct, more updated theory for gravitation. So again, understanding what exactly Newton did and understanding exactly where the science was and then bringing it to the next level is what some of these people are doing. The ancient Egyptians are heavily underrated in science. They figured out many medical procedures as well as physics, which they used to move the 5-ton stones for pyramids. Very underrated, I'm sure. The problem with the ancient Egyptians and a lot of the ancient other cultures too, like I'm from India, it has an ancient history, ancient India, ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, all these ancient times. The difficulty is that this was so long ago that it's difficult to kind of know exactly what was done when and by whom. Again, documentation is probably the biggest challenge there. Some things were documented, but some things were not. And so in science, really a big part of doing science and doing experiments and doing physics and math or anything researchy is to do it, but then also to document it. If you don't document it, if you don't give good talks on it and explain to people what you've done, if you don't write it down and publish papers, this is why in academia we say publish or perish, because if you don't publish, if you don't have the documentation like these ancient Egyptians, and not only documentation, I mean, there could be documentation that I just don't know about. So it's really a limitation of the documentation, distribution, and to some extent, education. So if I don't know enough about the ancient Egyptians, it could be that I'm just not educated in ancient Egypt. And so it's a limitation of education, as well as a limitation of documentation. So those things, that's why science education, documentation, publishing, those are all so very important. Otherwise it didn't happen, you know, except for those giants. I thought aliens built the pyramids. So anyway, thank you for that question. That led us to kind of discussing a number of scientists, but they're still trying to figure it all out. I'm still waiting on Stonehenge. Oh my gosh, I've been to the Stonehenge, not super close, but yes, Ayurveda, yeah, Vedic medicine and things like that. Yep. The ancient Indian civilization was also very influential with medicine. I believe they also played a role in some, yes, a lot of mathematical principles, a lot of the medical medicine, Ayurveda, Vedic, you know, sort of cures for different things, medicinally, are things that are from ancient India for sure. So ancient India, you know, all these ancient civilizations gave us a lot of things that maybe some of it is lost at this point because of the transmission of information and yes, mental health and meditation. There you go. Lots of that. No touching the blue rock. I don't know what that means, but okay. Hello again to everybody. Raikudo, Wade, Boyo, Doro, Nathan, everybody, thank you so much for being here and getting this discussion going. Thank you for all the good questions and comments. Really appreciate everybody for being here.